Morning, everyone, here in India, here in Bangalore, and all the world over. Morning to you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here amongst you, and thank you, Ken and Ashish before me. And once again, at the outset, would say it's an exciting phase in a very wonderful transformation that's happening globally. This program is going to be about the IT consulting space and analyst or the business analyst job role for which NASSCOM is actually working and collaborating with IIBA. NASSCOM, as you know, is the Chamber of Commerce for the IT BPM industry in India and has a huge catalyzing growth for the industry here and globally. We have built brand India globally, and we would continue to hold the fort for that requirement. But in this process, what we have done is that this Chamber of Commerce today stands tall at $150 billion revenue, and about 4 million direct employees and about 20 million indirect employees. One of the various catalyzing initiatives taken on is skill development and providing a ready talent pool for our members so that the billability and speed to market is addressed with least amount of effort from industry. But India has done something wonderful, and that NASSCOM has been underpinning this whole initiative, has a systemic process wherein which this country is poised to be a superpower by 2050, hopefully. In this scenario, what it's done is it's identified the 40 growth sectors by 2050, which should create an employment opportunity of about 350 million people amongst them here in India. About 150 direct employment opportunities and about another 250, which should be about indirect employment opportunities. But one thing is very interesting to note is that the ITeS, or the IT BPM sector as we are called, will be the technology enabler and platform for every sector, whether it be banking, financial services, retail, tourism, whether it'll be a healthcare or automotive industry, the manufacturing or the electronics, the media and entertainment, or it could be capital goods, agriculture, healthcare, education per se, the list goes on. Having put this up, the key part is that NASSCOM itself is the Sector Skill Council in this country because of its initiative. It's taken on this dual role, but because of which it has become the standard-setting body for all job roles, present and future, for this country. It also has another very interesting responsibility of being the assessment body for competencies for these job roles under Government of India. So you will see we'd work directly as the Sector Skill Council under the Ministry of Skills via the body called the National Skills Development Corporation. This is interlaced and interlinked with the Ministry of Human Resource Development, with the Labor and Employment Ministry, and the direct ministry of ours, which is the IT Ministry or Ministry of IT. So putting this whole platform together is very exciting because not only does it address the requirements of today for members here and globally, but also via this partnership, it opens up doors, which is very enduring for what is to be. This systemic process has actually put in place a scenario where we are going to be ready to address the 5 forces changing the world at an unprecedented rate. I will not be spacing too much time, but you know the disruptive powers of technology and the huge focus that is coming and the fear that is going around that automation will be removing jobs. But you would look that dealing in this changing world, the workforce is actually transforming. If you lose one type of job, it actually is to be replaced by another type, wherein which your skills have to be upskilled or upgraded, or sometimes there is a skilling program in the academic or the supply side. You will find that most of our companies are making big bets on digital business. You would see this. You have a fully autonomous mine, Boeing Digital Services, the Shell, who is a partner with us, has got a digital oil field, and these examples move on. In all of this, big data analytics and the role of the business analyst is huge. This automation, which is a global force, the pace of change is what's creating the, what I would say, the uncertainty in the minds of many. The first industrial revolution, the second and the third, had actually a time for absorption and for it to peak so that the applications thereof and the changes in the workforce can actually be absorbed at a pace that is really manageable. But today's digital disruption is actually peaking every 6 months. Therefore, when one comes in and the other goes out, the confusion is there, but the ability for us to be prepared is very critical. You would see, for an example, that US loses about 21 million jobs annually, but due to technology and business, it creates about another 23 million jobs. So this is the ability that India needs to take on board. And one of the underpinning factors that you will find is the analytics space and the role of business analysts that we are actually partnering with IIBA to actually make happen. For India per se, today, as I said, we stand about 140 billion, of which 116 billion is on the export revenues, and we intend to grow at 7%, and it's going to be a factor that is actually on its way on track. The domestic revenue market is growing at 10 to 12%, which means the opportunity for this particular job role too is permanent, and it's going to be really impacting the local businesses. Having said this, what we have structured is a matrix formation. The Sector Skill Council and this industry has got 4 broad subsectors: IT services, business process management, engineering and R&D, and software and product development. In the IT subsector, you would find that there are various occupations. You would have application development, information security, data sciences occupations. One which is highlighted in demand, and we are talking of today, is IT consulting. All of these occupations cut across, as you see, manufacturing, banking, media, entertainment, education, list goes on. So if you are a business analyst, it doesn't mean that you have to be, per se, only in the IT industry as a vertical and look at a vertical growth path, but this cuts across every other industry, whether it's retail, healthcare, or even construction, heavy equipment. So having said this, we just like to see that for the academic community and for, I'm not able to get this one. For the academic community here, it's, I'm not able to get this, please, someone, could you come here? It's not responding. There is, I would leave it here, I would, I need to actually go back again. No, it's not responding on the middle. No worries. You have your pamphlet with you, all of you. Please pick that up. The inner page of the pamphlet, there is a career map for IT consulting. So this is actually articulates about 30 years, and that's going to be a long time in this IT industry history. But let us talk of the next 1 to 2 years at least. And you will see the job role, which is called analyst. Otherwise, it's called business analyst or analyst consultant, which is in the market, is the one that we are actually preparing a courseware for. And if you were to look at that, it's about 0 to 2 years of experience. And you're looking for somebody with a commerce background, a financial background, but the details of which are in the job role. But having said this, there are another 6 to 7 job roles that will emerge, but that's now, we'd have to relook at it and work at it another 6 months down the line. But this courseware is being prepared by a group of highly passionate individuals from IIBA, from Accenture, CGI, UST Global, Sonata Software. I invite openly to anyone as a company to join this endeavor so that this would be a holistic expression of this job role which can actually reach out to all players in the market. But you have to look at, this is just not a legacy role. In the future of skills, whether it's virtual reality, Internet of Things, big data analytics, design, data science individuals, artificial intelligence, robotic process, 3D printing, cloud computing, social media, the role of the business analyst is there. You will look at the inner page of the pamphlet too, and if you look at the sections there, towards the end, advanced business analytics is a chapter which will cover the role of the business analyst in all of these areas. So which means that these new areas are there to stay, and understanding and defining the problem statement, developing solutions, preparing content and equipment in the most compelling ways are all important and very critical, which is in the broad oversee. But problem solving, industry knowledge, communication, document preparation is a critical thing that has to be a part of the educational pattern in our colleges and universities. Having said this, we're actually looking at 2 ways of this disruptive learning, with investment in digital platforms coming to play. We would like you to look at the various universities and colleges, and if you are from that academic community, to see how we will work with the transformation traditional platforms in parallel with the new age platforms. Towards this end, we are going to be working very strongly with the Government of India, the Ministry of Skills, with AICT, etc., to see that this content today is going to be something which is a hard copy one. We'll look for master trainers from your end to basically train faculty who in turn will train students, and that should be available as a ready talent pool for this industry. It also is important that the speed to market will be very essential. So we will work on a digital platform. We'll look to be an integrate and open a market space in which courseware and content which are globally addressed. And this is where Ken and his team will come into play to actually initiate this, to make this a viable option so that universities, traditional trainers, training providers in the community who actually facilitate, companies themselves will be able to do it. Ultimately, there will be a certification of the competency of the individual, which is going to be done in collaboration with members, and hopefully in the international space, NASSCOM and IIBA will also collaborate. So towards this end, it's an exciting space, miles to go before we sleep. But once again, thank you, IIBA, and Ken in particular, and all of you to join us in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you for being here at the convention. Thank you for the support you've given to IIBA, and we look forward to continuing with the great relationship. So thank you.